Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Glimmer Cast. I'm your host, Rhea, and tonight I have a very special guest, Devin from Nerdcast. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, no, I have never heard of this movie until you asked me to watch it for tonight's show, and I was a little skeptical at first because I'm not like a big heist movie fan, but I'm really glad that I took the time to watch it. I watched it twice, actually.
Did you? You watched it twice?
I
Why?
did back to back because I'm someone who doesn't retain a whole lot of information on the first watch. And for movies that are as jarring as this, as we're going to get into, I kind of needed that extra viewing to contextualize what I just saw.
There is a lot going on with this particular movie, so I guess I can understand it from that point of view.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly greet everyone in the chat. We got H. Bartz. I can't believe that The Edge is the star of this movie.
Yes.
Okay, I knew that guy looked familiar, and I'm like, he's a wrestler. I just don't know how to confirm that because I don't know who he is, but he looks so familiar.
I remember way back in the day when I was big into wrestling. Yeah, he was a part of that. I think he was a part of the vampiric wrestling trio with Jesus, who are they? They were the Brood or something like that. It was Gangrel and Christian and Edge, and he was one of those dudes. And I remember I liked him well enough, and then I stopped watching wrestling. And then when I saw him pop up in this, because I hadn't paid attention for decades, when I saw him pop up in this, I was like, oh shit! I guess he's trying to be an actor now. And I was like, is this a WWE film? And I don't think it actually is. I know they make their own movies, but this actually isn't one of them.
That's a really good point because I've seen a few of their celebrity wrestler vehicles. I know wasn't Jingle All the Way a sequel, one of them, or there was a third one, I think.
Wait, what? There was a sequel to Jingle All the Way?
One with Larry the Cable Guy. Oh my God, that might
what?
We might have to.
Okay, you're blowing my mind now. Jingle All the Way is legitimately my favorite Christmas movie. I love it to death and watch it almost every year. But I had no idea there were sequels involved.
Yes, and apparently it's now being used as a WWE vehicle. But to get back to Money Plane. Okay, so yeah, I pulled up the trailer, but I also wanted to give Devin a chance to kind of explain himself as far as what his fascination is with this movie and why we had to review it today.
Well, I mean, I think it'll speak for itself once we start talking about it. I always I have a fascination with just finding random bad stuff and watching it, regardless of how awful that it may seem. And this one didn't disappoint at all. And it's the kind of bad movie that I like in that it has all of it has some stunt casting for certain. And the big names in those roles, I think, do as good a job as they can with what they're given. But it just falls so flat with literally everything that they do, from production design. And we can talk about the budget of this movie because the budget of this movie, you can see that it's a small budget movie. You see every dollar. You literally see every dollar, and then wonder if it's too late to throw in a couple of extra dollars of your own to make the Money Plane actually look like it's a plane and not a cheap set somewhere.
You think all the budget went to Kelsey Grammer?
Oh, it had to have gone to Kelsey Grammer for certain. And that's really what drew me to this movie is I am a big Kelsey Grammer fan. I know he's not exactly the best person in the world, but I'm willing to put all of that behind me, put all that to the side for anything that he's in. I love Frasier. I love his character on The Simpsons. Anything he does, I love him as Beast and X-Men. He brings just such great gravitas to any role he's in. And even in this terrible movie, for all the scenes he's in, he elevates it to a whole other level. And it's just, I just want to watch a movie with his character.
Yeah, no, how you're describing Kelsey Grammer, I did kind of want to jump into this maybe later, but I guess I can do it right now since we're talking about how this movie.
We can start by showing the trailer.
Yeah, let's just do that. That'll be easier. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and pull up the trailer. Alrighty, so official trailer for 2020's Money Train. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and pause the background music that I have playing right now. Alrighty, let's go.
You a gambling man, Jack?
Not anymore.
Once a gambling man, always a gambling man.
Let's go, let's go!
This is already a winner.
Toss a coin. One side, you, your family, live the life they always dreamed of. On the other side, you lose everything. You owed a lot of money to some very bad people. So I bought your debt. Now you're gonna have to repay me that debt. Can we just get to the job? It's a legend in the underworld. To those in the know, it's the money plane. A bulletproof casino in the sky, untouchable by any government agency. Whatever you want to wager on, the money plane has you covered.
Rush it. There.
Word is they carry up to $1 billion on board in crypto and millions in cash. I want you and your crew to take down the house.
It's insane.
Yeah. Heck, might even be a good time.
Now, without further ado, sit back, relax, and prepare for takeoff.
There's control of the cockpit. Who's next? Hey, pal.
Your debt.
Oh yeah, the Punisher is in it too.
You, your crew, and everyone you ever met. Dead. By the time you touch down. Now bring me my money.
Money plane. All right, all right. With all due respect to the chatter whose name I can't remember, we are about to do major disrespect to the money plane here.
There was someone who name dropped Money Train, and I'm like, that sounds familiar too. What's that? Does that sound like Money Train?
I don't know what Money Train is. Is there a Money Train also? Maybe that's what inspired this.
No, like, but for real, like this movie, like I said, I'm a little out of my element when it comes to like my knowledge on heist movies. Like I know Ocean's 11 is a thing, and like I did watch Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which like I guess was like had a bunch of stuff going on it as well, and it was also a heist movie. But I'm not super familiar with like the genre. So also although I did have like some elements that I could recognize from a heist movie, I also noticed some tropes that I remember from like movies like Death Race, where there's like, you know, kind of like a human, spectacle, like sort of, you know, stakes driven, you know, like mechanic in the storytelling. So yeah, those are the vibes that I got just from like, without even criticizing like the movie yet, which we will get into, but just sort of like to give you the tone of the movie, at least for me.
Yeah, it's definitely attempting to be a heist movie. That's a real problem too. Like heist movies are one of those movies that you can't do poorly, because so much of like the draw of a heist movie is about the intricacy of the plot. Like it's all about how are we going to pull off this heist? It's this crazy thing, so we have to have this elaborate scam or this elaborate scheme. We're putting together a team. This guy's the brains, this guy's the muscle, he's the hacker, he's the whatever. And you know, you put together this team. There's this elaborate plot that's going on, and you've got multiple things moving all at once. And then, in order to create some kind of tension, something has to go wrong. So when something goes wrong, then the story goes off in some crazy direction, and it all has to end up making sense somehow. And that is incredibly difficult to write in a compelling way. And a lot of the times, heist movies try to paper over like a lot of their faults with bombast. You know, there's like either a crazy car chase scene or some crazy shootout or something that, you know, that gives the audience something to go, oh, okay, you know, this is awesome. We can overlook all the other weird little plot holes or weird story elements that don't make sense. This movie has none of that at all. Like, and I guess in just kind of starting this off a little bit, the movie opens with like the opening heist, because there's a heist that leads to a bigger heist, right?
Yeah.
And it's like they're trying to steal a painting.
Yes, for Kelsey Grammer's character. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get what the setup of all of that was?
Yeah, so they were trying to steal like this fictional painting, and it was a botched, operation. I forget what the reason was why it was botched, but they make a point to investigate it down the road because spoiler alert for like the painting comes back, insinuating a sequel. Like they'll actually go back and reattempt to get the painting. But anyway, Edge, the main protagonist guy, wrestler man, that is right here. Yeah, so he gets the call from Kelsey Grammer, and Kelsey Grammer's just like, "Look, I can kill you right now, but you're more useful to me alive because I have a job for you." And that's where the money plane comes in.
Yeah, so I guess because they were trying to steal that painting and Kelsey Grammer's character has the best name. It's like Darius R. Grouch the Third, also called the Rumble. It's like, what the fuck? Like Darius Grouch the Third? Did he have to be the third? And he calls himself the Rumble anyways. Like, what is this? How does he not call himself the Grouch? Like he has like the most elaborate name for him. Like I don't even know if he's a mob boss or not, but I guess he kind of has. He at least has P Roach working for him. So
yeah, he was a really great antagonist, but I feel like the dialogue definitely was jarring and kind of distracting. And we do have some clips from not only the trailer, but some isolated clips from the film as well that kind of explain what I'm alluding to. But yeah, no, apart from that, like the way that the movie is like it's like the production for me was kind of like fascinating because like I put in the tweet for the show was like, this is a Lawrence Brothers production who, as some of y'all would know, we're in a lot of like Disney Channel, properties and a lot of like, family, like comedy stuff, like in the 90s and early 2000s. That's when they kind of faded out. And all three of them are in it. And the youngest one, who was actually the voice for TJ Detweiler in Recess, directed this movie. And he's also the hacker, computer guy, man on the inside sort of thing, or eyes on the inside, techie dude. And Joey Lawrence from Blossom, we actually saw him in the trailer as well. He looks totally different than his Disney Channel days. This is one of the brothers as well. He was in Boy Meets World. So when I saw him, I was like, generic cowboy man from Texas.
With the fakest mustache in the world.
Yes, he looks just totally different. But yeah, I wanted to call that out because I had like big time nostalgia when I realized, oh, that's Joey Lawrence. And I'm like,
I recognize Joey Lawrence.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, this was one of the three brothers. They were in Boy Meets World. And there's the director of the movie right there, Andrew Lawrence. Some of y'all might recognize him from like other like Disney Channel movies as well. I don't know if I'm like talking about stuff like like after you stopped watching Disney Channel, but
Disney Channel is a little bit after my time there. I'm not super familiar with the Disney Channel cast, but I am familiar with Blossom.
Yeah, no, Blossom is what's up. I'm trying to. Yeah, there he is. Oh my! I can't.
Oof.
Yeah, no, all three of them are. Yeah, I just am like, are you trying to like be as unrecognizable as possible right now and just totally distance yourself from your past personas? But yeah, just for like folks who remember them, that's all three of them in the movie together.
The Lawrence trio making magic happen on Money Plane.
But yeah, so just like harkening back to what Devin was saying about the sets. Design. So most of the movie takes place on the money plane, and I'm just playing through the trailer so y'all can get a look of like how claustrophobic that set is, and that's basically the 100 square feet that they shot the film in for the most part, outside of like maybe like their homes.
I kind of got the sense that like, and I don't know if this is actually how the movie came to be, but I definitely got the sense that like maybe one of the producers was like, hey, you know what? I found like a torn off cockpit of a plane out in the desert somewhere. And then they were like, oh, cool, let's use it to make a movie. And then they just kind of wrote a movie around that. And like the cockpit of that plane was really the only like distinctive set piece outside of like someone's home, and then like the inside of the plane itself is just obviously like it's obviously not a plane. It's just like a room. They have like the crappy little curtains that you can find at Target with like the big curtain hole loops on the top.
Yep.
and they just use that to section off areas of the plane, I guess. And I'm watching this thinking like, they were trying to sell this plane as like it's a casino in the sky.
Yes.
All those dangerous criminals go there to gamble, and it's untouchable by international law, and all of this sort of stuff. And I'm looking at him like, this plane looks like a piece of shit, man. Like I've flown on fancier planes, flying Spirit. Like this doesn't look good. It looks terrible. And obviously it's like a budget limitation. By the way, I don't think like when Kelsey Grammer is sitting here explaining the money plane, I don't
That's
think
not in the movie.
No, it wasn't. Like I just realized just now as we were watching that, like that part wasn't in the movie, and it looks cool. Like where is he at explaining this? He's like at a barber shop downtown somewhere or something.
Yes, I saw that exactly. I'm just like when they cut the trailer before they finished cutting the movie.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that scene take place here, but I guess it doesn't really matter either way. But, there are really only 3 locations. It's like Kelsey Grammer's house, Thomas Jane's house, and then the plane, and then I guess a field with some dirt.
Yeah, no, like as I'm like playing back the trailer, I just wanted to kind of like call out this trailer for its BS marketing versus like the actual product that we received. Yeah, no, like a lot of like the characters that have like top billing, like Denise Richards, like her, like the wife character, she's not even in the movie like as a significant like character. Like
Not at all.
Yeah, no, and she has like basically second billing after Edge.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? I didn't even realize that. Yeah, she has like a line at the beginning, and then like at the very end, she's playing with the dog, and that's really about it. Like, I'm pretty positive they gave all of this movie's money to Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, no, like as we like are talking about like some of the actors that are like really noteworthy, I do have a clip Devin sent me for one of Kelsey Grammer's like top moments in the movie. We can jump right into that if you want.
Okay, we can talk about that.
Yeah, let's go.
Are you hearing audio?
Oh, can you hear it?
I can't.
Oh, let me do this again. Sharing. Oh, did y'all hear Half in the Bag automatically play? Sorry. Let's see. Sorry for the technical hiccups. Cool. Let's play.
I don't give a fuck who's on that plane. I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. I am Darius Grouch the Third, the Rumble, and I am taking down the money plane. Now bring me my money.
That's really the only reason why this movie got made, just for like that scene alone, and his final scene. Like those are the only reasons why this movie exists, and I'm okay with that, by the way.
Yeah, no, Kelsey Grammer is kind of like in this like career renaissance where he's like getting all of these movies, Nicolas Cage, John Travolta, John Malkovich, like actors like that who are like kind of past their heyday but still need to work and pay bills.
Did Kelsey Grammer go through like a acrimonious divorce recently? I know he had some kind of public. I think he did with one of the cast members of Real Housewives. And I'm wondering if that's kind of what spurred his willingness to take on roles like this. Because I know that like Nick Cage had tax issues, and that kind of spurred him to take on a bunch of other roles. So I'm wondering if it's something like that with Kelsey Grammer. Whatever the case may be, I'm glad that he backed into it for certain, and I hope he does more like it.
Yeah, no, if he comes back. But spoiler alert for like around the end of the movie, he goes into like this big like shoot down, like totally like Scarface, Al Pacino style. And I saw a GIF of it online, and I wanted to find another clip of it as well, since like Kelsey's like the star of this movie. But yeah, let me try to find it.
I will say this though, while you're looking for that clip.
Yeah.
Let me look. I think it's right over here. I forget the actor's name. The Edge, whatever his name is. Copeland, I think it is.
Oh,
his name
that's
is, Adam Copeland.
his
Yeah.
actor name. Okay.
Yeah, Adam Copeland. He does as good a job as you could imagine. I don't know if this is his very first acting role or not, outside of like wrestling stuff, but I think I saw in his portrayal of that role someone who could segue from this into like better types of direct-to-video action movies. Those movies you see on Netflix. Like The Assault, and it's like some random dude with like a gun and like the slanted text. Like I could see him being in like those kind of movies that are generally okay to have in the background, and maybe from there he gets like a cast in an MCU movie as like some Hydra thug that Captain America gets into some brawl with or whatever. Like I could see him being in that role. He did a decent enough job with what he was given. It's just that what he was given was not good at all. And like the trailer shows his fight in that cockpit, which was probably the best action scene in the movie, to be perfectly honest with you.
I found that clip, so I am actually playing it
well,
up. I can't find a Kelsey Grammer one, but I will play the fight scene from the cockpit.
It is not. He's been in a few things. Okay, I wasn't familiar with what else he's done like outside of the wrestling sphere. So I'll have to look into him then. Maybe he's got a robust filmography. Maybe it goes up from here.
Cool. Pilot fight. Let's go.
It took you so long.
So can you pause it for a second?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So just to give a little setup here, and spoiler alert, I guess. I mean, whenever I talk about movies, I spoil the shit out of everything. So I'm just going to talk about what leads up to this. So they're in the midst of this heist, right? They like for whatever reason the pic art heist failed, and Kelsey Grammer's pissed. So he's like, you know what? I owe all your debts. You belong to me. You're going to pull off this crazy casino plane heist and steal all the money and all the crypto from their vault. And, they're like, okay, well, I guess we're stealing from the money plane. So and that's another thing, by the way. Like,
it would have been so funny if they worked NFTs into this. Like if they just had waited 2 more years, they would have been totally in vogue.
Exactly. They probably would have been stealing NFTs. I'm kind of surprised they didn't work blockchain somewhere in there too. Like this is totally the kind of vapid usage of buzz terminology that these guys didn't quite understand. Like the way that, like, because spoiler alert again at the end, like I guess they get the crypto, but then they're like, let's just send it to charities, and then they just kind of send it to all the charities. And yeah. I say that generically, but that's literally like what they say. They're sending it to the charities, and it's like, how did you do that? Like in 2 button presses on your iPhone. It's totally just buzzword stuff. But
there's so many like artifacts of our current zeitgeist in this movie. It's like a time capsule of this day and age that in 5 or even like 10 years, we'll look back and be like, yeah,
10 years. Like we're doing it now.
Yeah,
we're in the middle of it and doing it now.
But yeah, I will go ahead and play watching this movie. Thank you, Devin, for recommending it. I had a blast talking about it and chopping up scenes and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I think like as far as like ratings, if I had to like think of a rating for it, I might give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm gonna give it 3 Darius P. Grouches out of 6.
3 rumble times.
Yes, 3 rumble. This 2.5 rumble times. 2.5 rumble times. I do recommend this movie to people who enjoy watching bad movies. Like I wouldn't recommend this movie at all to anyone that doesn't get it or get enjoyment out of that sort of thing. Maybe as a prank. It would be fun. Like, oh, you like Kelsey Grammer? Oh, I have a good movie of his for you to watch. And then later on, they're like, dude, what the fuck? I wasted $5 on that movie. That's like, haha, I got you. But like
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, other than that, like it's a great bad movie to watch with friends or if you're getting wasted or something, but not much more than that.
Yeah, no, this reminds me of another Kelsey Grammer movie. It was Guardians of something. I think it was released internationally mostly, right? Kelsey Grammer. Guardians. It was funny because they got roasted for using the same font from Guardians of the Galaxy to get like some like some remnants of like brand recognition. But yeah,
was it a Guardians of the Galaxy knockoff?
Not at all.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go ahead and share. But yeah, Guardians of the Tomb UK trailer. Yeah, I can go ahead and the money plane.
This does. This has a budget. This has a real budget.
What is this place?
Looks like a cave system.
Oh, and that's
Guardian.
totally Guardians of the Galaxy font. Totally Guardians of the Galaxy font.
Yes.
Okay. I see what
this
they're
came out a
doing
couple
there.
years before Money Plane. I wonder which one was in production the longest.
So I mean, it's clear that this is kind of like, Matt Damon did that Great Wall movie that was funded, that was Chinese funded, and there's actually, maybe we could put this on the list for a future movie to do. There's one with Nicolas Cage and Hayden Christensen. I think that's called Outlaws, which is an amazing movie. It has some of the craziest Nick Cage lines, and I loved watching that one too. But that was also about two white guys in ancient China, doing what white guys do in ancient China. Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
it seems like it's kind of in that vein.
I'm totally down to like watch it, and for some, like, it's jarring how like the most random American actors get cast for like these internationally intended movies, like Kelsey Grammer, Matt Damon, like Nicolas Cage. Like, it's just like, oh, whoever's available like to film right now.
Christensen.
Yeah,
like that was when I realized he was still acting. I was like, what? Hayden Christensen's in a movie with Nick Cage? And he wasn't
what could
bad.
possibly go wrong?
And just to kind of tie it all around, Kelsey Grammer is in a movie I watched with Nick Cage that came out in 2019 called Grand Isle. So maybe that's another one. Like, I can't remember if it was like, I obviously it wasn't good because I can't remember anything about the movie, but I can't remember if it was like, so bad it's good type movie. I just remember that Nick Cage and Kelsey Grammer were both in it.
Okay, let's watch this, and then like we will be in touch for next movie to watch for the next review. But yeah, it might be this one, if not.
Okay, I do remember this movie being very wacky.
It looks pretty disturbing. I do like the cinematography. I like the tension. Like, it does. It did captivate me during the trailer. So yeah, no,
it's better than Money Plane.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. But yeah, no, this has been a great episode. I'm looking forward to covering more bad movie content with you, Devin. But yeah, any closing thoughts while we wrap up the show, and where can we find you at?
You can find me at Ye Olde Nerdcast on YouTube. You can find me there also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ye Olde Nerdcast. I stream live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you can catch me usually 7 p.m. Central Time, or 8 p.m. Central Time rather. So you can catch me there. And I am looking forward to doing this more. I have a whole list of bad movies that I could just keep tossing your way. Money Plane doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. So yeah, we'll do this again.
That's what's up. And I have Devin from Ye Olde Nerdcast's links in the description below as well. If you're on YouTube, please give him a follow and go subscribe to his YouTube channel. And yeah, this has been episode 10 of the Glimmer cast. I'm going to go ahead and play the outro. And yeah, y'all have a great night. All right, take care. Bye.